Not only do these jobs not require a degree is for the most part completely irrelevant to all of those jobs.
Okay, so while it's not necessary, the most valuable thing you will get out of a degree like that are connections. Good luck trying to intern in a studio without some sort of degree. It's not impossible. It's a lot harder though. Now, I'm really confused here because did he not say there was an unpaid internship? Did they help you get that connection? How did you get that? I feel like he's kind of being contrarian here because like I do agree that it doesn't mean everything, but there is a point to it, you know? How many people are getting unpaid internships in studios without a degree? How do you even get them to give you a chance? For all they know, you could just be some guy that rides bikes.
Or you can just get that information in a mini course that I've done, which I've...
Oh my God, bro. Okay, this is kind of sus here. Okay, wait, hold on. College, don't pay for college. You can get that knowledge via courses. By the way, I have a course. You can check it out right here. Should we do AP Mastering first? Let's check out AP Mastering here. Audio Engineering University degrees are worthless. Audio engineering degree. I have an audio engineering degree. I'm a little triggered. I feel like I may have to flex some credits on this guy. All right, so let's see what he has to say here. The viewership's a little bit lower compared to his normal stuff. I'm kind of surprised here. I don't know what happened. I think it's just a topic thing, maybe. All right, let's see this. I didn't actually watch his other video, man, because it was too nerdy. But like, I was thinking maybe we could sometime, and I gotta like do some prep for it because he was wearing a suit in it. So I need to be wearing a suit, and I need to do some prep research. But I think I should.
Bridge audio engineering degree at university. I'm just trying to make the point that what is taught at universities on audio engineering degrees today is completely oversimplified and not what was stated by Shannon's original paper. And then I got a bunch of people turn up in the comments saying that I was wrong because when they learnt the theorem at university, they were taught very well when they were studying digital signal processing for their PhD at Harvard.
Oh, this is kind of like a similar argument to that Bolo video. What is it? Just because you're certified doesn't mean you know anything.
And that sounds like I'm exaggerating. But again, for some weird reason, my video jumped outside of the comfort of the audio engineering bubble on YouTube and landed up in the feeds of Ivy League University STEM postgrads.
Well, you got to keep that in mind, bro. When you make a video, if it does well, it's going to go out to a much larger audience. And the people you intended to see it, it's not just going to be them anymore. Is this guy certified, though? Good question. I don't know if I could take him seriously. I don't know if he's certified.
But with all of this talk about universities and what you do and what you don't learn at university, I thought it would be a good opportunity to make a video on just that. My experience, from my point of view as a student and someone who's also lectured at university, whether it's worth doing an audio engineering degree in 2025 from my personal point of view. So first off, it goes without saying that if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer...
Okay, so let me just say first off, I do have an audio engineering degree also. It's a 2-year degree. It was at a pretty good program though. And it actually led to me being able to intern in the largest studio in Hawaii. And when I say largest studio in Hawaii, I mean literally the physically largest studio, like where Kanye, Ariana Grande, Post Malone, etc. all record. But no, like seriously, all like the big people do record there when they come here. And in my opinion, I'll just get this off in the beginning here. I think that like the main value I had from it was working in an actual studio environment with really good equipment and the ability to intern at these places, okay? That was the only real valuable part in my opinion. And then also it's like something you can like add to your resume.
Or something which is a protected profession, you need to go to university because these are gate-kept industries and the universities hold the keys to those industries and there's no way around that. The audio world is different because the universities don't gatekeep them. They are gatekept, but not by the universities. So if you're going and doing an audio engineering degree, what do you want to do? You want to be a mix engineer, a recording engineer, a mastering engineer, a front of house engineer. You want to work with game audio or film or anything related in these kinds of industries. Well, none of those jobs require...
What did it cost? It costs everything.
A degree. In fact, not only do these jobs not require a degree is for the most part completely irrelevant to all of those jobs. And when I had my studio listed on Google Maps, every year after the students graduated from university...
Okay, so while it's not necessary, the most valuable thing you will get out of a degree like that are connections. Good luck trying to intern in a studio without some sort of degree. Like am I saying it's impossible? It's not impossible. It's a lot harder though. It's a lot harder to get into that room and be taken seriously. Also, like if you're like trying to get hired having it does look better. While it doesn't like make you a better engineer for the most part, like just having practice and knowing your shit is all that really matters. So like I said, it's not necessary. It's totally not necessary. It's capped for most engineering that isn't music. Which part?
There'll sort of be a wave of CVs being sent out to all of the local studios, and I was included in that. So I'd get a bunch of CVs of people just graduated from this institute or that university. They're like, oh, I've got a first, or I got a 2-1. Can you give me a job at your studio? And I'd never be interested in the slightest in any of these people who were sending me their CVs, because I just don't care whether you've got a degree or not. What I care about is, can you talk to clients in a professional way and not get angry under pressure? Or when you're insulted, can you not get angry? Can you keep calm, and can you keep...
Well, I think the value of it in this particular instance that he's talking about is that you can set aside whether or not they know their shit. They've gone through the basic testing and whatnot. They've gone through the books. So that part, you don't even have to worry. You should not even have to worry about that on paper. You should not even have to worry about that. Then the only thing you have to worry about is what you're saying and if they're good. So there is some value in it, in my opinion, in the instance he's talking about.
Professional. Can you perform at a higher level doing the actual job? Do you have a lot of experience doing it? Have you got a proven track record of doing high quality results? Who have you worked with? Where is your experience? And if you have zero experience...
But bro, that's I mean, hopefully that will lead to experience, you know? I feel like he's kind of being contrarian here, because like I do agree that it doesn't mean everything, but there is a point to it, you know?
Experience, then go away, do an unpaid internship, build up experience like I did, like everyone in the industry who has a reputation, who's been a T-boy. I've been a T-boy. We've all been T-boys and worked our way up. You don't send a CV off.
T-boy, I was a toilet boy. I had to clean the toilet. Is that the same? Was that the same thing?
Here's my degree. Give me a job. No, I'm not going to give you any money. Why am I going to give you any money? You're probably just going to scare all my customers off and make my business implode. Why am I going to give you the keys to my studio? Who are you? I don't...
Wait, what?
Degree. Give me...
That's why you fucking interview them.
A job. No, I'm not going to give you any money. Go away, do an unpaid internship, build up experience like I did, like everyone in the industry who has a reputation, who's been a T-boy. I've been a T-boy. We've all been T-boys and worked our way up. You got
T-boys. Is that anything like a T-girl, guys? Is that the same thing? Is that what he's talking about? We hiring trans people?
Don't send a CV off. Here's my degree. Give me a job. No, I'm not going to give you any money. Why am I going to give you any money? You're probably just going to scare all my customers off and make my business implode. Why am I?
Well, I mean, that's why. I mean, bro, what? Like, I feel like sometimes he just like makes like these like straw man arguments that no one's making. Because like, yeah, you could do that, but I feel like realistically, you wouldn't just like test drive them in front of your like most prized clients, you know, like what?
Give you the keys to my studio. Who are you? I don't trust you. I don't know you. So that's my perspective of someone who receives CVs from people who have just graduated. What is my perspective of someone who was a student? I was a student myself in 2005. So 20 years ago now, I studied audio engineering at university. What was my experience as a student? So for me personally,
like, bro, and another thing too, it's like, it's not like it jumps straight from like resume to straight to studio. You know what I mean? Like, you interview people, you see if you think they're a fit for the job. You maybe put them on some test runs. Like, you don't just fucking hire them and then put them in like the craziest situation and then be like, well, you destroyed my business. This is very like bad faith arguing.
I felt university was a bit of a mixed bag. So there were a couple of standout lecturers who I thought were absolutely incredible, who had very good industry experience. And I would often go up to them at the end of the lecture and ask them a few questions one-on-one after everyone sort of leaving the room, to get a bit more of an insight into some topics that I was interested in at the time. But in terms of what was actually taught on the course, a lot of it was just your average basic stuff that most people know without having even gone to university. There's a lot of irrelevant stuff there, a lot of stuff that you don't really care about too much. And the stuff that was sort of very, very important for the industry applicable skills, you could just learn easily in some other way, not having to go to university. So I felt like the actual syllabus itself didn't really teach me all that much valuable information.
Okay, there is some truth to this. You learn a lot of things that you do not need to know and will probably never use. And that's basically true for like every sort of degree, I would say. Only thing is, though, like, you're getting experience by working in the field. For instance, like with my audio engineering degree, there was a studio and we would be doing stuff like every week where we're working on a project, like where we're recording people. We're basically getting experience there. Yes, schools do teach outdated stuff sometimes. Like they were very focused on like recording bands there. I will say that. They were very focused on recording bands, and like I feel like the industry was already moving past it. And it's not even that people don't record bands anymore, but it's just like not as like they were acting like it was the end all be all. So there's definitely some truth to like it not being as valuable, but also there is some truth to it being valuable in certain ways. It's not completely trash.
Receive any training at all about what mastering is, like how to do any mastering at all. I didn't learn anything at all about mastering, and I'm a mastering engineer. That's what I do for my job and have done since university, since I graduated. And so my entire career...
so that's a specified skill set, you know? I mean, I learned a little bit about mastering, but it wasn't like all in on that because there were so many different directions you can go with the audio engineering degree.
I had to just learn everything myself because I wasn't taught any of that at university at all. So by the time I graduated, I'd made some great friends who I'm still friends with today, 20 years later. And some of those friends went off to become recording engineers and mixing engineers. And me as a mastering engineer, we work together. So it's also a financial benefit and social benefit. And so it was a great way to connect yourself with other people who are in a similar field being at university together. So that was really positive. However, by that point, I was in about $30,000 of student loan debt, and my degree turned out to be completely useless at getting me a job. I sent my degree and CV to everyone, said, look, I got a first.
Now, I'm really confused here because did he not say there was an unpaid internship? Did they help you get that connection? How did you get that? Does he talk about that? I feel like he should talk about that.
With honors at this good university, give me a job at your studio, and crickets. No one cared. And the only people who got back to me offered me unpaid internships. So I went to this one studio and did an unpaid intern.
Yeah, it's exactly the thing you were saying, bro. They don't want to risk putting someone in the deep end. So you have to do an unpaid internship first. And I feel like it would be a lot harder to get that in the first place without a degree. Now, am I saying you have to get a degree? No. Am I saying that it's the only way? No. But I do think there is some value in that. It'll get your foot in the door a lot easier. You can at least have one foot in the door if you want in. They will at least possibly open the door.
But initially, I didn't even have travel expenses. So I had to pay my travel expenses to work for free and then pay to get back home. So I had to actually, it was like negative. I was paying to work. And then at some point they started paying my travel expenses, but it was really good because I was getting experience and I got my foot in the door. And then they started paying my travel expenses, and then ultimately they did offer me a job for actual real money. And then I made my own studio and started my own company. And then the path was very, very slow from being in credit card debt, just all my expenses on my credit card, and couldn't pay my rent. I was just building up slowly over time to the point where I'm at today. But it's been a very long, hard journey, and having a degree played almost zero role in me being able to make where I am today. So what are the alternatives to going to university? Well, of course, unpaid internship. It's the gold standard way of developing industry experience. And then
I would like to see how many people are getting unpaid internships at studios without a degree. How do you even get them to give you a chance? Because I feel like I'm sure while I'm sure there are people who do get a chance, I feel like it's much, much, much harder to get that chance without a degree. Because for all they know, you could just be some guy that rides bikes. You know what I mean? Like they don't know shit about you. Like at least with that, it's like, okay, well, you know, this guy has done the basic normal work.
Also, with the advent of modern technology, the internet, online courses, absolute game changer. Why do you want to pay $30,000 or whatever to a university to learn some stuff? A lot of it's going to be irrelevant. It's just going to be some broad syllabus of stuff that you might not be interested in, rather than a specific, targeted, higher quality online course taught by someone in the industry who...
Oh my God, that's funny. Humble cold emails, not that deep. Commented from a guy named It's Not That Deep. Did you just make this account? Sir, did you just make this account?
Actually is successful in the industry. For example, my EQ Enlightenment course. If you want to know about EQ, you want to know how to use EQ, or that course is going to cost way less than a university degree. It's going to cost...
Okay, this is kind of sus here. This is kind of sus here. The whole like, hey, okay, wait, hold on. This is kind of sus here. The whole like, hey, college, don't pay for college. You can get that knowledge via courses. By the way, I have a course. You can check it out right here. I'm gonna talk about it right here really quickly. I don't know. It's a conflict of interest here. This is very much conflict of interest right now. Like, it's kind of hard to like trust what you're saying right now if you're gonna like talk about you're gonna show your course in it. It's a little like, okay, now I'm like, okay, can I trust what you're saying? I mean, obviously I'm different because I went to school and like I've been doing this a while, but like for somebody that doesn't know, this should be like a red flag.
Way less time than a university degree, and the information you get in that is going to be way better than a university degree because it's taught by someone, me, who is actually in the industry, who uses an EQ every day for his job. And so I'm going to teach you everything I know about EQ in one course for a ridiculously low price compared to 30,000 euros for a university degree. Online courses is completely...
And I'm not saying courses are bad, but I'm just saying it's very conflict of interest to like just bring that in here. It would be much better if you want to actually make your point here, like effectively, you should not be talking about that. Or if you are, like, don't put it on the screen or anything like that. It just comes across as like a sales tactic. Not good.
You change the game if you want to get the skills and the knowledge. But in terms of actually experience, nothing comes close to unpaid internships, in my personal opinion. And I mentioned before, although I'm a mastering engineer, I didn't learn anything about mastering at university. And not only that, I didn't learn anything.
I don't really think he's a clown, but like sometimes it's really transparent. I think he has some points to what he's saying, but it really rubs me the wrong way putting your course in this while you're talking about how college is useless and how you should just do a course instead, you know? Like, I don't know. It's like being like, hey, you know, instead of using those chopsticks to eat your ravioli, you should get a spoon. By the way, I'm selling a spoon and I have them on sale right now. I got a trench coat full of spoons right here. Do you want a spoon? Or you want to keep using those chopsticks, you fucking idiot? Got the spoons right here. They're on sale. You know what? It's only on sale for the next 20 minutes, actually.
About preparing my music to be mastered at university. So you'd think that you go on this university course, it's going to really give you all of the tools that you need. Well, one of the most essential tools is, if you're making music, how do I get my track sounding good to be sent off to be mastered? Like, isn't that an essential skill? I didn't even get taught that at university. So you can do an entire university.
Where did he go? I mean, I feel like I kind of learned that. Like, obviously it's a very subjective thing, but they taught me like every like detail about how like EQ works, compression works, when you would use it, etc. And obviously like they kept it in the subjective manner. Like they would talk about it objectively and subjectively. We even got to mix, like, we had like track outs of like famous songs and we got to try to mix them ourselves on a mixing board. And we did this probably like 20 fucking times at least. Like, and then we had like our own projects where we like had to like set out and like we'll find a band to record or like a rapper to record or something. You know what I mean? Like we had like lots of stuff we had to do. And I'm really like, when did he go to school? Like I need to know more information about this. Cause like my experience with college is very different. And I only went to a 2-year course. And so it was much less money.
Degree and spend tens of thousands of dollars and not even get that information. Or you can just get that information in a mini course that I've done, which I
oh my God, bro, priced
at €2. Like €2 versus 3 years of a university course plus $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Like €2. Like that's the difference between university versus a targeted online course.
Like even if you wanted to do this, if you want to show your course, at the very least fucking put it the goddamn in, bro. Be respectful, man. Like you're totally just destroying your own point here.
In the specific thing that you want to learn, and then industry experience actually doing an unpaid internship. There's no comparison. High quality online courses from working professionals who are actually successful in the industry, plus hands-on practical work experience, beats universities every time, paying all this money, being there for all those years. So that's just all my perception and experience and opinion. Is there anything more objective we can say about universities as a whole? Yes, there is. Most of you guys know me as an audio guy, but I'm also a finance guy. I trade options and I'm really passionate about economics and finance. It's another one of my interests. And so we can explain this a bit from an objective economics standpoint.
That'd be really funny if the accent was fake. He just gets off camera. He's like, time for coffee.
Now, although there are many things that motivate consumer decisions in buying things and selecting one thing over another, maybe convenience and branding and reputation and stuff like this, the main forces at play are price and quality. So if you see 2 insurance contracts and they cover the same kind of stuff for your car,
bro, if he launches a meme coin, that'd be amazing.
Let's say, and one's $1,000 and one's 500, you're going to pick the one for 500 because it's essentially the same, but one's cheaper. So that's the price. And quality, let's say you've got two shops. One sells oranges that have gone all moldy, and the other one has got oranges that look pristine and tasty. And you're going to buy the tasty oranges, despite the fact they might be a bit more expensive, because you care about quality when it comes to eating food, hopefully. And so price and quality play the main motivational roles in what we select in terms of consumer purchases. And this applies to universities, or it used to apply back in the day at least. Back in the day, you would have to apply to a university, firstly, that you could afford, and if you went to the bank to try and get a loan to pay your tuition fees, the bank would be like, well, how are you going to pay this money?
Yeah, don't invest in stocks. Buy my new AP crypto coin today. 100% guaranteed money back if it's not rugged. It will not be rugged. 100% guaranteed money back guarantee.
Money back. Are you going to get... are you going to be a doctor and you're going to earn a lot of money? Or maybe we're going to give you a loan in that case, but do you have any collateral? Can you put your house up as collateral if you don't pay the loan? A lot of people just got refused loans. Maybe you just didn't bother going to the bank for a loan to go to university. You just work in the summer to pay the tuition fees for university. So the universities were motivated to keep their prices low and their quality higher to attract students in to get the best quality at prices that they could afford.
Bro, looks like Destiny the streamer.
And
a little bit.
You only had a few elite places that had really high prices because everyone who had loads of money wanted.
It's starting to lose me here. I'm going to skip ahead a bit.
To the bank, and the bank's like, how much do you want?
Bro, this has nothing to do with this
Facility.
I mean, it does, but it's like, it has nothing to do with the point. Like, we're just going off like on some random direction here.
The price and quality as you would have done before when you actually had to directly pay the fees and work to earn the money to pay the tuition fees directly. So now the universities aren't really competing on price, and sooner or later they start realizing they're not competing on quality really either. So what happens? The quality start to slide and the prices go as high as they can go.
That's definitely, I could see that being true. I mean, you just got to look into it before you go there, you know? Like the one I went to, I honestly didn't look into it that much, but I didn't really have any other options. Like this is basically the only like engineering course you could take in, or not course, this is the only engineering like school you could go to in Hawaii. And like I had gone to, like I took a class at a different college and it was complete shit. So I stopped going to it. Like, I guess like if you realize early on that you're not getting anything out of it, then like don't go. Then just don't go.
And at some point, the students start to realize university isn't really that great anymore. The quality is declining. And people have been talking about the decline in university degrees since the 60s, since the 70s. People have been joking about underwater basket weaving degrees and all this stuff since like literally the 60s. And it's been going downhill since then. So what happens? Well, now a lot of smart people are thinking, well, maybe I don't really need university. Maybe it's all a bit expensive and takes too long and I could just learn the same thing in an unpaid internship in a couple of weeks and I could get straight into the industry and start earning money quicker without all of this debt and partying for 3-4 years. So if enrollment...
Yeah, that is, okay, true though. I mean, hey, if you're going to do an unpaid internship, you won't get to party for 4 years. So, I mean, hey... Joke's on you, bro. Joke's on you, all right? You don't get to be hungover all the time, so ha.
For some of the courses in the non-protected industries starts to decline a bit at universities, well, they need to make those numbers back up. How do they make those numbers back up? At the end of the day, they're in it to make money. They want to make money. So are they going to cut their tuition fees? Well, the students got all the money they want from the banks. They're not going to do that. Are they going to improve their quality? Or maybe they might improve their quality through marketing or try and do a few things from that. But actually, there's another way that they can increase the amount of students that are coming into their universities. Just make it easier to get into the university and make it easier to pass all of the modules.
I think part of the reason why the school I went to was kind of good is somebody donated a bunch of money to make it happen. Like some guy wanted people to be good engineers. Like he put up like millions of dollars into it or something. Like, and whereas like I think universities, like I don't think it's like funded like that. It's funded in a different way. So I don't know exactly the way it's funded, but the funding like this, like it was more like grassroots. So because of that, like, I don't know, just there was a lot more opportunity and options and support.
So the university students feel better about themselves and they don't drop out as much, because a lot of people drop out of university because they find it too difficult. And if you drop out, you don't pay any more fees. And they want people to pay the fees all the way along up until the 3rd or 4th year, whatever year you're going to study till. So they make it slightly easier, and they make it the syllabus slightly easier in the later years as well. And they make everything just slightly easier so more people can come through. And if more people drop off and don't come to university because they think it's a waste of time and money, well, then they just make it even easier and let more people come into the universities. It's a well-studied phenomena, and this is what happened over time in why 100 years ago the quality of education was way better than it is today. And the root cause of all of this is the government stepping in and securing the student loans. If the government doesn't secure the student loans, then it's more difficult for people to access university, and that might be seen as bad. I'm not making an ethical argument for or against this. I'm just saying the end result of doing that means that the university degrees in 2025 are essentially worthless, and it's a complete waste of time, and you might as well not bother with university. That is the end result. So long story short, if I was 18 years old again today and I was looking whether I wanted to go to university or not, I would not go to university. I would stay at home with my parents, and I would get an unpaid internship. I would even pay the travel expenses to go and work for free to get hands-on experience in the industry, in the specific part of the industry that I was interested in. And I would work my way up from being a T-boy. I would make people tea and coffee to get that experience in the studio or wherever. If it was game, audio, technology, or if it was film, I would try and go to those places and get an unpaid T-boy job and work my way up from there. I would also get online courses in specific things that I was interested in learning about, because obviously you don't then have the educational component, so you need that somehow. It's not only industry experience, you learn a lot from industry experience, but not everything. So
okay, all right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just strip instead, guys. Just strip instead. Overall, he has some points, but I think he also does not have some points. He has some points and also not some points. And also, some of it's like pretty bad faith, and I really didn't like how he was sliding in the stuff about his course. That really kind of ruined it, in my opinion.